Detective Joad. If the big masked man did this, I'm going to bite him. Better not. I might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Let's talk to Detective Joad. And away we be. Sorry for the wait, Detective Joad. Who are you? Are you Cecil? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How's Camila? What about Lynn? Well, it's kind of a long story. I told Detective Joad about everything that happened on the submarine Yanoa. So the submarine's badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You? You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Joad. Are you Yomio? So you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? Is that your real name, huh? Yomio? That's right. Those people on the Yanoa were calling you Cecil. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Would you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you, right, Detective Joad? Right. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know. Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into just joining this project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. Wow. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me that I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved in on this one. And then, one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident, sorry. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage. By the way, Detective Joad, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomio. 10 years ago, my soul was split from my body. I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world, no question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. The good were my powers. They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to disappear. I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly towards the bottom of an endless sea. Overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know that it was like I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was a twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them. But what would you get out of the deal? A new life. Life? I asked them for two conditions. Number one was they would help me with my revenge plot. The second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth? A new beginning, huh? I don't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical, acceptable for my soul. Receptacle for my soul. A name, an identity, everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. But finally, I wanted to die, surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. Completely man-made life. That's right. I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask a national government to help me. Their response in the end was betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Timsic was all about. You had no idea they were doing all this. None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go through all the trouble of making a deal with you? Or didn't they just steal a hunk of the Tismic meteorite in the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of this manipulator's power. I expect a Caminella, the old Pidgey guy, huh? At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? It looks just like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old odd person. park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. That's why they couldn't steal the Thameslink meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, blah, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Thameslink meteorite. So that's it, huh? So the upshot of your grand deal was this, huh? Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea. Forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Joe back to life, of course. What? What good would that do now? We promised. We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camila that we saved them. And we can't do that without you, Detective Joe. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it all leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. I'm gonna go way back in the past. So, where are we headed?
We're not headed anywhere, Detective.
What?
There was only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We'll run out soon, and that will be our destination, Detective.
What are you talking about? That would mean you're trapped here too.
By the way, I'm not human, Detective. I'm Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. I'm a remote control robot, Detective.
What? The country's use of technology is just plain off.
You get that a lot, Detective.
Why would you go through all the trouble just to do this? There's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore.
Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective.
Possibility? What are you talking about?
There's no need for you to know, Detective. Now it's time to say goodbye, Detective. Yippee-ki-yay. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective.
Camila, forgive me. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that big masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility? In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. Possibility of turning the situation around. And there is. Trick time. Huh? What is it, Detective? Look at Yomiyo's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Thameslink fragment is gone. Will this change in his shell give us some kind of lead? I figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is what they're afraid of. Is that they're afraid of, sorry. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Timsic. His body cycled between the moments that separated his life and death. Right, but not anymore. The Timsic fragment has been taken away. Exactly. So what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Timsic fragment was removed, Michelle became a regular corpse. So, let's see. That means we can go back to 4 minutes before your death? But, wait a minute. Exactly when is that death? That's simple. We'll find out when we get there. Let's move. Rewinding again. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever, and then I saw it. The final death at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all the clues, and all I have to do now is remember. Final journey to the truth starts now. Oh, wow. That's chapter 17, everyone. Final chapter starts next. As you can tell, I unlocked the last chapter. I'm getting teary-eyed. I don't want this to end, but it has to. That's alright. It'll be alright. Alright, everyone, this is BigFan82 saying so long, and if you like it, continue to let me know. And, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. So, alright. I'll see you guys soon, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.